Pokémon Draft League is a format where players draft a pool of Pokémon to battle other players. From this pool of Pokémon, players must choose a team that best matches against the opponent. But it doesn't end there, because Draft League is so versatile that it branches out into different formats. There's Uber's Draft Leagues, Monotype Draft Leagues, and even low-tier Draft League. But what if we took the idea even further? Welcome to PMPL Extreme Low Tier.
Hey, what's up guys, you got Gunk or BB here and I'm beyond excited for this league. I love Draft League, I love low tier so much, but this is something else. This is really special to me and can't wait to play. So how about we go over some Pokemon or some rules first, whichever. I'm recording this ahead so I'm not sure.
So there's a lot of complex bands like no Contrary on Superior and no Psychic Surge on Indeedee, because otherwise this league probably wouldn't work, so we're gonna ignore those. Instead, we're gonna go over the universal bans that all Pokemon must follow. Both Dragon Dance and Quiver Dance are not allowed. Shell Smash and Belly Drum are also not allowed, and so is Sticky Web, Snow Retreat, and Stored Power. As for ban abilities, we have all of the weather abilities as well as a speed boost. And when it comes to items, all of the weather rocks boost their energy, which only one Pokemon can use it, I'm pretty sure. Terrain Extender and Light Clay are all going to be banned. So first pick we have Klefki. Klefki might not seem as a very low tier mon, I'm gonna have to agree. But when you really think about it, it's actually not amazing. Especially when you consider the fact that there's no Light Clay. And yes, I can still run screens, but it's not going to be that effective. This thing's coverage is very just abysmal. It's like walled by every steel type, which, all things considered, there's not a lot of them in this format, but which is why I wanted to draft this as my first pick. I had a completely different Pokemon in mind. I wanted Medicham, but it got sniped right before my pick, so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and take the best steel type, which, you know, I will say Bronzong was probably better, but this seems a little more versatile. It has a lot going for it, even if it doesn't have the best coverage. And I don't know, for someone like me, I appreciate versatility above all else, so I am very excited to use Klefki in all of its glory. Our second pick is a Pokemon that I'm surprised it's even allowed here. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is really easy to beat, you know, you can be like, Clear Amulet, blah blah blah, but I don't exactly agree. Especially, like, if you consider this is low tier, it gets a little more difficult because you can still use the onboarding sets as well as, you know, the annoying Strength Sap, whatever, and Calm Mind, and like this can do a lot of things. And I'm just surprised that it was allowed, so I'm just going to take it. Not only that, but it pairs up with Klefki pretty decently, considering it's a spin blocker, and Klefki is a, you know, spike setter. And I don't know, this mon is a little crazy. Maybe I'm going to be proven wrong and everyone's just gonna beat Drifloon like every battle, but to me it seems like this is pretty good, so beyond excited to use it. Next up we have Morpeko. Now this might seem like a weird pick, but the thing is, Rapid Spinners and, you know, removal was already running a little low. I'm well aware that Drifloon is defog, but chances are I'm not gonna use it like that all the time. And Morpeko is an amazing Pokemon. I'm surprised is the amount of points that it was. I don't think it's like broken or anything. That's not what I'm getting at, but it's definitely better than where it was. I'm pretty sure it was like 11 points, 12 points. I would say this is like maybe 14. It's an amazing breaker, and it can also snowball. It's like low-key kind of strong. But yeah, and it's got lots of utility, like I said, Rapid Spin as well as knockoff and whatnot. So I really appreciate Morpeko, and I mean, look at it, it's just really cute, dude. I don't know what to say. Next up we have Thwackey. I kind of just let this in there because, like, I either wanted Thwackey or Arboliva, and both were still available, and I said, you know what, I think Thwackey is gonna be better. And this is giving me Unburden on Drifloon, which I think it's a little insane when you think about it. Um, like I said, maybe Driflim's not broken, but the fact that I can do this, it's I don't know, it's a little questionable. But yeah, it's not banned. I can actually run on board and grassy seed and whatnot. So yeah, I went for Thwacky. Our bully was probably better, but I like how Thwacky is just like more mindless, I guess. It is what it is, right? Like it just it comes in on U-turns and the terrain stuff. But yeah, and I like that. I think I want that in my team, and now I have on board, and I think it's crazy. Next up, we have our Terra captain, which is Golduck. Um, Out of all Terra captains, this is probably the one that looked the best. There were a couple there that, they're pretty strong, but I think Golduck just really shined in that pool of Pokemon because there's really not a lot of amazing monster, but Golduck has a lot of setup capability as well as being like it's like a sweet spot of being it's not that fast but it's not slow. It's also somewhat bulky. You'd be surprised how bulky it can be, and offensively speaking it's also kind of strong. It's like I wouldn't say a jack of all trades because it is most likely going to be a setup mon or maybe like choice item or whatever. But I think it has more versatility than you can look at first glance. It's just it looks cool. I don't know, and being able to Terra actually makes it really really amazing. So I figured I'm gonna take this right away. Not to mention that I was kind of weak to fire already. So next up, I decided to pick up some speed. Just like with Thwacky, I just kind of let this there because I either would have grabbed this or Graphia, of course. Kinda probably most likely would have been better because of Unburden. But the more I thought about it, it's like I really appreciate the fighting coverage that Sneasel has. And it is faster. It doesn't have the best abilities, but it has one that's really good. And no, this doesn't get on board. It's not like a Sneasler at all. It's like it's actually way worse. It doesn't even have U-turn or knockoff. But it's still really strong. It's still really fast, and it has great coverage in just fighting poison hits a lot. Of course, it's a very good type that takes on both. But other than that, it hits pretty hard, and you don't really switch into it all that well. So I really welcome this mon into the team for the speed and just being like a choice user or whatever, even a setup potential. I like this one. It's really cool looking. I don't know. Next up, I'm not sure how this got into my hands, if I'm being honest. I was already prepared to grab one of the worst ground types in the entire board, but somehow they just made it back to me. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna pick it because I think it's kind of. I was gonna say broken, but no, it's not broken. It's really good though. It's actually like really good, and that's going to be Piloswine. Piloswine is something that I've used out of low tier. Like this is how good it is, and in the context of this, it's obviously not as good. But like low key though, like because if low tier, it has more to do. Like this can be like a Mamoswine, as well as being just a Piloswine, Eviolite, whatever. Yeah, and it's a rocker. I really need a rocker as well as a ground type. You always need a ground type, dude. So yeah, I think it's crazy that I got Piloswine. It might have some negative synergy with the Thwacky, but I mean honestly, not really. If it comes to it, I'll just run like Stomping Tantrum, right, or whatever. I'm hoping it learns that. I mean, it kind of looks like a horse too. Maybe it has high horsepowers. I don't know, dude. But yeah, that's gonna be Piloswine. Following up, we have Chimecho. I just after like I feel like at this point I just had pretty much everything I wanted, except for a couple of things. Thing number one would be like fire resist and whatnot. But Chimecho just pairs well with a lot of Pokemon. It pairs well with Sneasel as well as Morpeko, and it's just really versatile. I actually have this in a different league, and I mean I've only used it once, and it did work. But I think in this context of low tier, it might actually do a little bit more. This could have been a Terra Captain. Honestly, I could change it, but I don't know. I feel like It's better to have a Terra Golduck and a Chimecho than a Golduck and a Terra Chimecho, in my opinion. Because, like, uh, Golduck's great. So, I think I'll go with this. I could change it though. I am open to the possibility. But next up, we have our Fire Resist, which is Munchlax. Uh, it's not that good of a mon, but like it's also kind of cool, you know. It's pretty bulky. It's kind of tanky. It's like Snorlax, but like, oh wow, I was gonna say it's like Snorlax, but not good. Yeah, yeah, obviously. Like, don't you say? But I mean, it's cool. It has a lot of coverage. It can set up. It's not as reliable, I guess, as Snorlax, because obviously you're most likely gonna run Eviolite on this. But like, it's low-key kind of cool, and it's also a normal type, which Ghost was kind of tough against me. So this just fills the niche really well. And last, and probably least, Larbesta. I mean, look, this is the mascot, right? If you couldn't tell, I really like Volcarona and Aramoth and Slitherwing and those Pokemon. And of course, Larbesta. And this was originally going to be by Brava, but somehow I got sniped on by Brava. Because I guess out of all Terra captains, by Brava was the one that made the most sense, because otherwise, the other Pokemon that can Terra is like, yeah, like Larbesta and like Little Cup Mons. That being said, I think Larbesta is actually kind of cool. People don't realize that it's stronger than it looks. It's bulkier than it looks, that's for sure. I mean, I play Little Cup, and whenever I see this shit, it's like, oh, it's just gonna sit there and it's gonna burn me. Oh my god! And we can Terra this. We can Terra Golduck and Larbesta, which probably means we're never gonna bring this, but it does open up a couple more possibilities for Larbesta, and I actually think it's not all that bad. But that's going to be our last month. That's our team. Nice to meet the team. And yeah, I am beyond excited for this one. I think battles go up on Sunday. This video is going up on Monday though, because something about culture deals or whatever. But yeah, I think the actual first battle of this is gonna go up in like a couple of weeks. But yeah, stay tuned. I have other draft content. I'm not doing, I mean, spoiler, I'm not doing amazing on my other draft like now. But still watch it. Like, if you like the clip at first where I'm bringing 6 choice man, that's from that league. And I'm not gonna spoil the outcome of that battle, but look, man, you saw the Iron mode. I'm just gonna leave that there. But yeah, check me out on my socials, whatever. And yeah, stick around for more. See you guys. Thank you.